Our second presentation is we're going to receive a presentation of the Centennial Oral History Project and Historical Timeline Projects.
Can you all hear me? Hi, my name is Kathleen O'Connell. I'm going to talk a little bit about two projects the San Bruno Library has been working on to celebrate the Centennial. Let me get the first one set up for you. There. Two projects the San Bruno Library has been working on to celebrate the Centennial, which are useful for this year and we hope will also have enduring historic value in the years to come. The first project is our history timeline, which is on the screen right now. It was created with the support of a Pacific Library Partnership Grant. This interactive timeline presents San Bruno's history from 1849 to the present. It includes more than 80 events, which can be clicked on to display more information. Most of these events also include historic photographs, clips from oral histories, historic film, and links to external content. Most of this content was found in the San Bruno Library's own historic collections, which also include an extensive collection of newspaper clippings, scrapbooks, and other memorabilia from San Bruno's past. This timeline has also been enriched by items that have been sent in by interested San Brunans, who we would like to thank for their contribution. The purpose of this timeline is to really delve into San Bruno's history and find things that are both well-known and give more information and find things that are less well-known. We wanted to make San Bruno's history interesting and accessible, both the events themselves and the artifacts that describe those events, most of which would otherwise be inaccessible or difficult to access in our historical collections. I'd like to mention the importance of the previous research that has been done on San Bruno's history, particularly the work of Daryl Fredericks, whose work provided a major resource for the timeline. The timeline was made public at the Centennial Carnival on September 27th. Since then, around 50 people have viewed it. We really hope to increase the exposure through this presentation and information on the Centennial website. This project has a great deal of importance for the current Centennial celebrations. It supports the increased interest in San Bruno's history and allows San Brunans to discover more about their community, both the events themselves and the artifacts that describe them. For example, the history of Tan Fran, the history of the SFO airport, as well as a number of local businesses and community organizations. We also hope that it will have continued importance. It will serve as a permanent record for San Brunans, as well as a resource for the city as a whole, and especially the library and local teachers and students. We also hope that we will be able to add new events to the timeline as the years go by and make it a real living record of the city's history. I'd like to give you a short demonstration of the timeline, if I can get it to open right. Momentarily. There we go. This is the beginning of the history timeline. It starts in 1849 with the founding of Uncle Tom's Cabin, which stood at the intersection of El Camino Real and San Mateo Avenue. If you click on an event, there you go. It will give you more information, and this includes a link to more information about the Uncle Tom's Cabin. To move, you can click and drag to see the rest of the timeline. Sorry, this is giving me, there we go. You can also go to a specific year that you want to see. This right here is the celebrations in 1914 for the city's incorporation. It includes photographs and a clip from an oral history that's currently not showing very well. Sorry. It also includes links to more oral histories and more photographs. It's also possible to search and filter this timeline, both the title and the description. This is showing pieces that describe the history of El Camino Real. And this timeline also goes all the way to the present, so it includes events all the way to 2014, including the San Bruno fire and the subsequent reconstruction efforts. Okay, our second project is an oral history project. The timeline really deals with the events of San Bruno's past. The oral history project works to collect and preserve the memories of our citizens. It's called the San Bruno Stories Project. Over the past 6 months, we have interviewed 25 San Brunans who have shared their memories and experiences of San Bruno, and we would very much like to thank them for their contribution to San Bruno's history. The richness of this project has been greatly increased by the participation of a true Centurion. Mrs. Catherine Murphy gave us an interview, and she's also celebrating her 100th birthday this year. Let's see. These stories have been collected so they can be shared and also so they can be preserved for San Bruno's future. One story from each interview has been added to the San Bruno Stories page. I would encourage everyone to go take a look and listen to some of them. They're actually quite interesting and very good listening. There's also a companion collection called the San Bruno Voices Collection. It's a group of 10 oral histories that were created during the U.S. bicentennial in 1976. It includes stories from some of San Bruno's founding families, which share their memories of San Bruno going back to the 1800s. Clips from these interviews are also on the Centennial website on the corresponding San Bruno Voices page and include reminiscences from such early residents as Teresa Beltramo and George Genovan. Both sets of oral histories were made public on September 27th, also at the Carnival. Since then, they have been listened to nearly 500 times, and we hope that number will continue to grow. We are still conducting oral history interviews. There will be three oral history days held at the Rec Center. There's more information about that on the Centennial website. And just very quickly, I'll show you the 2 pages. This is the San Bruno Stories Project page. It is also currently not displaying, my apologies. Normally it shows a list of the interview clips with a picture of each person who has been interviewed. The San Bruno Voices page probably won't quite show either, but this is this is the clips of the oral histories that talk more directly about San Bruno's past. That's all I have for you. Do you have any questions?
Any questions for Katie? I just want to say you've done a great job. You and your team, which is probably just you.
I've had a lot of help. Thank you.
You have had. I've looked at it myself, and it's once you get into it, it's wait a minute. I want to hear what she has to say. I want to hear what he has to say. It keeps going and going. So you've done a wonderful job.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Anyone else?
Anyone else? Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Katie.